Like I say, I think, well, the way I understand it was basically um, the Glita gang or G13 or some Mexicans were supposed to kill me when I was a young child or something like that. Supposed to do a drive-by. And they were threatening some people possibly with locking them up in jail or something like that if they didn't kill me. And and I think they went to jail because of that. I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, a lot of people may not have known that I'm actually Lucifer Starline, of LS. Just like the Statue of Liberty, LS Island, LS. You know that's why it's LS. It's LS Island. They put an E and call it Ellis Island, but it's actually LS Island. My initials, Lucifer Star. Technically, I'm Lucifer Starline, but that, like I said, that's because of the seagoing ships. Because I had seagoing ships, and people were like, "Well, you only had seagoing ships," and I was like, "No, I had the LSF, a colony ship, spaceship. Just like the LSF Blackbirds. Not just here on Earth, but also other galaxies, other planets. I kept about 400, 120 or 36 at least, 36 nice worlds for myself, basically. But like I said, I kept them for myself. But then, but then what happened was other planets aligned with me because of my institutions, my laws, and everything else like that. So I don't really know. Like it just kind of went out and out like a wave or something like that. Anyway, like I said, plus, America could have been under Germany. Like I said, I picked the dollar bill, but I could have easily. It's funny because there's a moment in my existence basically where I could have gone either way. I could have picked the German money, and some people said, "Oh, you just picked the German money, blah blah," and therefore your money isn't in circulation anymore. And it's like, no, not true at all. I picked this money actually. I picked America because I had named America, and America was my country, so I picked America because it's my country of flight, commemorating flight. It's actually a commemoration of flight, Air NCA, America. And although I had most of my aircraft engineers were actually German and British and basically European people, and that's where the foremost and basically that's where all my places were. But they were having stuff brought over to America, and they were supposed to be joining us in America and stuff like that, you know, and and people are like, "You're busy though." They're so annoying. Like they always like to put in their 2 cents, which is really annoying. Which is like just a bunch of people being annoying. Anyway, though, whatever. Like I said, Starline, Star Trucks, Star Trucking, Starline Brass, and actually, like I said, it actually where Starline Brass and people like that. What happened was there's this brass company and they needed an infusion of money or a mining company or something, and I asked them or something like that. I invested in their company basically. They got a large amount of money, I believe. And so they decided to go ahead and take up my name and all that stuff. I don't know how much I paid them, like a couple $100,000 saying to continue to keep my name. But I said I wanted my name though, which is Lucifer Starline. So anyway, so very good people basically continued on. And while they've only been in business 50 years or some odd years, Starline Brass actually goes back, back to the old days. Like I said, Antioch's mine. The Antioch's mine was my mine or one of my mining companies and stuff, and we also did a fair amount of explosive research there. We set off like the largest TNT bomb or something like that. We packed a mine shaft or packed a bunch of TNT inside of the thing, and like blew up half a mountain or something like that. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool. Um, yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't really exactly around for it like that, but I had it done or there was being done, and stuff like that. But the Antioch's mine, and there might have even been a smelter inside there or something like that. I don't know. Like they built everything into the mountain and everything else like that. Like a lot of my stuff is underground and inside of caverns and inside of mine shafts and stuff. That's how like even the coal mine underneath underneath Japan, and it goes a third of the way underneath China or something like that. Like if you looked at, there used to be a map of China and Japan, and there's this great big coal seam that was underneath there. It went halfway or a third of the way, went like a third of the way into the shore underneath China, or a good portion underneath China. So there's this giant coal seam on there that was underneath the whole island, and that's why the whole island sunk down. Like I said, they were mining it out, and then they filled it full of sand, and then they estimated the beams and the structural integrity of the island would generate and eventually would settle down within 300 years or 400 years or some amount of time. And I think sometime in 1980 or something like that, I said that and said something, and like I said, Germany did a report on it, England did a report on it, or Europe, and I think also the Chinese Council is also doing a report on what would happen when the island settled. And like I said, with the even 160 feet or 200 feet or some odd coal seam, basically even though it's full of sand or filled with sand, it would still settle down quite a bit or something like that. You know. Anyway, or something like that. Anyway, though, so yeah. So anyway, Starline mining, basically, one of the world's largest mining operations, and also galactic mining operation too. So like I said, I have mines, like not just with the humans, but with the exoskeletons and also the 1.5s and every kind of thing like that. And once upon a time, I was able to just call exoskeletons or other life forms and just have them drop off stuff. But of course, anyway, though, that was a long time ago, though. So anyway, though, but yeah, it's a pretty big thing. I mean, that's why there were so many people were being threatened with an inch of their life to kill me or to do whatever. Because, I mean, it's basically a huge empire, a huge conglomerate. It's not just this galaxy. It's not just this planet. It's big. And it's like the future. And like, it's because I was 900 or 90 trillion years old, or a couple hundred million billion years old, basically. And I had spent like a couple hundred million years being an AI or a starship, basically. And all kinds of other stuff. And like I say, many American soldiers or whatever said, no matter what they say, what you remember are not delusions, or not what's called. It really did happen. It really is reality. So, anyway, so I have it on very good authority by some American soldiers and some American people, very high-ranking people, higher than the president, higher than the Pentagon, people of what was going on, stuff like that. People that really knew everything that was going on. Anyway, the higher ups are really high. I mean, like I said, other people would be like, "Does he have clearance for this?" And it's like, there really is no more top secret. There is no higher clearance than me, because I'm your creator and because I'm your leader and Lord and everything. It doesn't get any higher clearance than me. So there's no more higher clearance than my clearance, which is why a lot of people are like, he's crazy, blah, 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 he's a basketist, blah, blah. It's like, well, I did have basket weaving people. A long time ago, I had this whole project where a bunch of people were doing basket weaving for me. I was paying them to make baskets and stuff like that. Well, I did have basket weaving a long time ago. I am not a basket case. I'm not crazy. I'm not whatever. It really is real. It really is reality. And it really is true. And, like I said, Congress and Republicans and Rick Bush and Rodney Bryan, a bunch of other people will try very hard to basically deny me and to discredit me and to do this and do that. Like I said, for years they were saying that Lucifer lies. All Lucifer does is lie. Blah, blah. It's all fake. Blah, blah. And it's like, it's not fake. But of course, they were still alive and they were still, like I said, John McCain was still around and kicking and trying, cutting off people's arms and torturing. Well, Nixon was. Like I said, they pardoned each other for their war crimes and everything that they did. So, like I said, anytime a leader or someone has to be pardoned for something, and like I said, they didn't pardon and it also included what they did to Russia and also Japan and China, and Europe and England. Like I said, they did the war crime tribunal and corruption thing on Germany. Well, no, it was war crimes tribunal for Germany. Then in Russia, it was corruption charges, blah blah, and trying to have those people killed. And then in China, it was also corruption, or I don't know, or just whatever. Anyway, it's all what they were doing, and they're basically just a lot of these people they had actually already killed, and then were charging them for war crimes or something. Like I said, a lot of the signed confessions people realized weren't actually even in the people's handwriting, because the people wouldn't. They said, "Kill us," you're gonna lie about us anyway. So. Just like me.